if it's immoral then to support the factory farms because of their experiences, wouldn't taking life from someone who wanted to live also be immoral, even if they were cared for really well beforehand?
I think definitely, yeah. I definitely do think it's harder because it's also people. It's sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't want you to feel on the spot. I'm
Yeah.
genuinely here to just kind of point out that we share principles.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that your actions just don't really align with what you believe. I do believe what you're saying, that you do feel this way, that you feel like everyone should be treated equally. It's just that we're leaving out individuals just because they think differently and they can't speak up for themselves. All right, so we're live on YouTube. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm
Awesome,
okay with
awesome,
that.
awesome. Okay, so I'll have you stand in that little square just so we make sure we stay in the frame. Awesome. So my name's Anna. What's yours?
Molly.
Molly, lovely to meet you. I really appreciate you having this conversation
Yeah,
with me.
of course.
So what we're talking about today, let me grab one so we can. Yeah, we'll just point out what you're holding. So what we're just asking is, people, do you think the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless? And power can mean someone really strong or maybe someone really intelligent. Do you think they should have the right to oppress others?
I mean, I don't think so. I think everyone should kind of have equal rights dependent on their power. It doesn't really matter.
I'm right there with
despite,
you.
I mean, I think people tend to exude their power over others in any chance that they get, and I think that that's, in its own right, pretty selfish. And I think that it's unfair, and I think people should have the right to express themselves in any way that they can, and people like to use that to their advantage when they have more power over others, and it's unfair.
It really is. It really is. So that question is really so that we establish that we actually share a lot of in common. We have similar principles. I also agree that someone with power shouldn't be abusing their power and using someone unfairly for their benefit.
Yeah.
So this one is the one that might feel like the trick, and I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I did this for a long time, so don't feel judged.
Okay.
What do you think about the animals that we send to slaughterhouse, we use for food, clothing, and entertainment? Would you agree that we as humans are the powerful and we're oppressing the powerless in that situation?
I think to some extent, yes. I mean, it really, we can't really understand what the animals are thinking. We do kind of use that to our benefit, and it's difficult just because it's in that way, it's hard because for like centuries, it's been like survival of the fittest, and everyone is,
but like in that mode almost.
Yeah, exactly.
In that mindset.
Yeah,
Totally.
And I mean, animals themselves are in that still as well, and it's just kind of their way of living. But I genuinely do think that we, to a main extent, we over exude that in some ways, and I think there's times where it's more ethically safe and definitely to like eat animals, but there's some points where it's genuinely, I mean, the slaughterhouses and the like mass production of that is it's overused to an extreme extent in a lot of cases, I'd say.
I just want to understand. So, are you saying that factory farming is negative because it's just overdone, or is it negative because of the animals' experiences?
I'd say a little bit of both. Okay. I mean, genuinely, I myself am not vegan, but I do support people that are vegan because it's people's like beliefs, and it's people's like, it is in a way you're using your power to slaughter animals, and that in itself is in their place they're powerless. So it's genuinely yeah.
So I did hear you say vegan. Do you know what vegan means?
To an extent.
Yeah. I mean, fair. Not everyone knows.
Yeah.
What do you think? Or what is your understanding?
People that believe killing or the use of animal products in any way is harmful.
It's sort of that.
Okay.
It's more of exploitation specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, veganism isn't against taking someone's life or harm specifically. It's against the exploitation, which is the unfair use of somebody else. You're using someone without their consent.
Yeah.
So when we go back to factory farming and we talk about how we're concerned about their experiences, if we do care about their experiences, it comes to a question of like, well, what justifies what we do to them? Is there something that we need from them that might justify us using them, even if we do it nicely? Like, what does justify that?
I think Sorry, can you rephrase the question a little bit?
So farming, we talked about factory farming being harmful to them, right? Their experiences are bad. So if we farm them in the nice way, what morally justifies that? Because if we switched a human in there, I'm sure you would agree that wouldn't be humane, right? So what is it about animals that you think justify? Is there something that they provide for us that we don't get from other sources? Or is there maybe a good reason to use animals?
I think for a lot of it is a genuine food source, I think, for a lot of people. And I think it's, in some cases, it's a little more, because it's so mass produced, it's more, people have more access to it.
Convenient.
I think it's more convenient to a lot of people,
For
and
sure.
especially people that maybe it's easier to access when, like, no matter your income as well, it's not really dependent on that. So I think it's just genuine food source for people, and I think it's an option for people to have, and it's good for people to have because sorry.
No, you're fine. If it helps, I actually am genuinely more curious about your situation specifically. Oh, we're just going to lay that flat. I guess the wind is not our friend. No, I'll just leave it like that. Darn, I just had my train of thought lost. We were talking about their, sorry, what was the last thing you said? I'm so sorry. I just had a brain break because that thing keeps distracting me.
It's kind of, provided for...
Oh, provided. Right,
yeah.
that's where we're at. So if it helps, what is it that you specifically need? Is there anything you need from animals?
I'd say probably a food source.
A food source?
I mean, for me, I never grew up vegan. But it's not that I don't. People that are vegan are like look down on them. Yeah,
I didn't grow up vegan
and I think it's a good thing for people to be. I mean, but I think genuinely it's also a lot based in people's food culture as well. I mean, a lot of meals and no, not in my case, but just like I think in like other cases. Yeah.
I'm aware there are people that have like other obstacles that they might have to overcome.
But like for me personally, and it's just like I think for me it's what I grew up with. It's a food source. I never really have thought. I mean, I've thought about being vegan or vegetarian. It's just something it's comfortable for me. I mean, I live with my family, so it's kind of like I eat what my family provides most of the time, and it's because I'm in their household, and it's an option for me to have. It's like it's available for me. It's something I don't always have it. Sometimes I'll choose I won't eat meat today, or like I won't because I'll think more heavily on it and be like, today I don't really want to involve myself in that. And
so the definition of veganism is actually an ethical stance against the exploitation of others. So the reason why, even when it's really convenient that vegans say no, is because we're trying to make a statement that we shouldn't be using others without their consent.
Yeah.
And if we were the victim, we would want our oppressors to not use us. So I guess when you hear the definition that I'm against the oppression of others, does that more align with your own principles? Does that sound like something you agree with, that you should avoid demanding someone's exploitation?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So since we don't need anything from animals, I know you said it's a food source, but we live in one of the most vegan cities actually in the world. And we even have a vegan food bank that's called Food Not Bombs. And you could actually find everything you need in this market if you wanted to. If things were too pricey for you here, you could still get everything at a cheap grocery store. Have you ever seen what the animals go through that you use? Like the chickens or pigs or cows?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have. I've tried to convince my family to when they do buy meat to go from an ethical source, more free range, just to not support what's happening to the oppression of those animals. I mean, in most cases.
So if it's immoral then to support the factory farms because of their experiences, wouldn't taking life from someone who wanted to live also be immoral, even if they were cared for really well beforehand?
I think definitely, yeah. I definitely do think it's harder because it's also people. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't want you to feel on the spot. I'm genuinely here to just kind of point out that we share principles.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that your actions just don't really align with what you believe. I do believe what you're saying, that you do feel this way, that you feel like everyone should be treated equally. It's just that we're leaving out individuals just because they think differently and they can't speak up for themselves. And that convenience, I personally, even if it was convenient to use my body, I still wouldn't want my oppressors to use me. But I want to leave you with the card, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So this is actually to our website. If you scan that, it takes you to antianimaluse.org.
Okay.
And if you click on what do I fund, it'll take you down to documentaries. There's a 3-minute challenge documentary on there, and it does show you standard practice, but it's not a gotcha.
Okay.
I really encourage you to watch it, because no matter what you do, you should know what it is you demand.
Okay.
Because then when you see it, you know what that individual had to go through, and yet you can ask yourself, was what they went through really worth me demanding someone else go through that?
Sure, absolutely.
I really appreciate you
Thank
stopping.
you so much.
Can I ask you one last hard question? I'll let you go.
Okay.
How many more animals do you want exploited for you? Is it more than 0?
It's a hard question.
Yeah. Well, I'll say it again. How many more do you want exploited for you? Is it more than 0?
I'd say no. Yeah, I'd say no. Yeah.
I really appreciate
Thank you so much
talking
for
to me
your
so much.
time. Thank you.
And if you want to watch this, you can also find the live on there.
Okay, yeah,
and
absolutely.
You can rewatch it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, what was your name one more time?
Thank you. My name is Molly.
Molly, I'm
Thank you so
Anna.
much.
It was really lovely talking
Nice to meet you. Thank
Yes,
you.
enjoy the market.
Thank
You have
you
a good
so
day.
much.